welcome to Narrowboat, the James Bill. Hope you're well, thanks for joining me. Today I need to kind of redo these stairs because they're not right. The reason they're not right is because this one here, which is 70 by 70, which is the same size as the aperture here of the hatch, means that when you're trying to get your head underneath this bit here, you're still at this higher level. This needs to be lower so that you're kind of naturally missing this. I think that one is probably the right height for the next step, but this bit here needs to be lower, but this bit here is the right height. It can't be like go straight in at that height, that's just too much of a step down. So I'm going to need to redo this. It's going to look a bit weird. I'm thinking, I've drawn it out a million times and every time I do it looks bizarre and wrong, but I can't think of any other way of doing it. So, and it's all going to be covered by the fascias. You're not going to see it from this angle, but basically, yeah, step here, I think also it comes out too far. This comes out 70. I think it needs to be about maybe 60, possibly 55. Step there, then a lower step there, then another one there, and then another one there. And they need to be kind of fanning out so you're moving down and forwards. So let's get this stuff out first. Obviously ignoring the overhang there, this isn't right still, that's not high enough. I was trying to get 4 steps at 20 each so then it coincided with the right level there of the swim, but that ain't going to happen without increasing the height of that step, and I don't really want to do that. Right, that's a bit better. When I put my foot down there, like the natural way in, my shoulder, it pulls my shoulder underneath the top bit there. So that's a lot better than how it was. I think though that should be a little bit lower. If I can get that maybe down to that level, possibly bring that down a touch, then I could get away with just one more step there. So just have 3 steps instead of 4. Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be the way to go. Right, this is better. That's a better step down. And then from here be another one down to there and then in. I still can't quite work out how the curve's going to go, because this step has to come further back. That's too much out, and then these have to start moving forwards a bit. So this coming back will therefore bring that forwards. But I've got to work out how that kind of curve thing is going to look. If I can't get it to look nice, then I can't really do it. I'm just struggling a little bit at the minute to kind of visualise all of this. I'm kind of thinking that it's got to be kind of the easiest access for all. I mean, I've seen the little girls jumping in and out, they're fine, the kids are easy, they'll kind of, I know, kind of deal with it how they need to, but it's more for kind of adults and stuff. It's just got to be ergonomically correct. And I think that step at that height is right. And things, it kind of, it's the same height as a swim. So I mean, where that step goes all the way across and then there's another one like that, it kind of fans out. Possibly. I don't know, got to work this out. Maybe the whole thing should be in a curve from here, which is obviously going to restrict me doing anything with that bit. Okay, ergonomically, height-wise, I think I've cracked it. This is quite comfortable, although that's a little bit precarious. That kind of works quite nicely. Decent platform here to stand on still, kind of ish, but this works now. Having your foot go down there whilst your head's still in the hatch, that's the key that I didn't have right before. That is the main thing, and then coming down it's fairly straightforward. But I mean, I can easily cover all that up. So when the kind of the fascia's on it, and when you're sitting down here or whatever, it will still look, obviously that's not filling the gap, you know what I mean? It will still look right-ish. And then this is going to be further back, and this will kind of, in my mind's eye, this is going to kind of curve round, right? And I'm thinking the same should happen on this one here. I'm thinking from this point, it should kind of curve round a bit like that. Make it slightly less, I don't like that bit. That's not quite right. So I think I'm going to put a curve in this and shimmy it across a bit and see what that looks like. That's the kind of shape I'm thinking of. I'm going to cut it out and see what it looks like. But if that kind of curve then was then kind of the same coming around there, maybe matching up with that curve there, and that will kind of entice you down, because this corner here is totally wasted. You're never going to be in that space there at all. You're just going to walk straight in here and kind of feed down. So it could even be like a kind of corner unit there, to be honest. That's all pretty dead. So yeah, a nice kind of curved piece round there might bring it all to life a bit. Right, I've cut the curve out so I can easily follow that line across. That's got to come down as well, and then start to kind of curve it round this way is the plan, and then I'll do something like that later on. Now I've got to change that one for another piece going across there and to rest on the swim, and then I can get a shape on it. Right, this is where I've got to so far. Kind of following this line around here, kind of thinking it's now going to kind of take that kind of shape, giving the third step kind of a nice curve, and then it'll all kind of curve like that, board up to there, and then yeah, boarded down from there to there, follow that curve, and then boarded down from there to there, follow that curve. That's the theory anyway. Right, this is where I've got to. It kind of looks okay and it feels really nice. I kind of like the curves. They're not obviously properly done in any way, and obviously the siding of it will enhance that. But I'm now thinking, yeah, if there was like a curve thing around there, or like a corner unit or something like that, maybe that would be just kind of emphasize the direction of travel. But that is quite ergonomically comfortable. The only thing I need to kind of work out is how it's all going to be finished up and stuff. Obviously this will be the line coming out, that'll be the electrics cupboard up there, and then there'll be a fascia on there covering that area, a banister coming down to there, or maybe down to there or something, I don't know. Plenty of room for batteries underneath. Now I need to kind of stare at it for a couple of hours and look at a better way of, well, now I've kind of got all it kind of worked out, just look at a better way of framing it all with either CLS or 2B1. Right, I'm trying to work out now. This is still not right, basically. It's a lot better than it was. A lot better, this level here. But now I think it needs to come down for that foot, because this is all quite, this works well. But whatever foot you come in on, you've basically got to do 2 stands before you get down to here. And then that's a bit tricky, crossing over there. I think it should be 1, 1, 1, or something like that. At the moment it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, then there. And then the steps will look a bit more similar. At the moment they're all completely different. So then this one here can have a similar angle to that one there. Then visually that will start to look better, and then I can work out what to do. The other thing I need to think about, try to do, is to bring that lower step further back a bit, so I've got more space and I can shimmy the galley down a bit. So I think I might put that angle in over there. The other thing I'm thinking is that if I want to have some kind of wall cupboard or whatever, like some curved thing or just a straight angle, it doesn't impede getting in and out at all. And kind of that could be useful storage or whatever. Right. So, next up, yeah, follow that angle across there, get rid of that, put that there, shimmy it around a bit. Right, I think this is better. Ergonomically, kind of works quite well. Looks kind of how I wanted it to look from this point. Obviously that angle there would probably continue, so it looks like it kind of invites you in that way, but more importantly it's just kind of one step in front of the other. Oh, you know, it sounds stupid saying one foot in front of the other. I know everyone knows how to walk downstairs, but walking up is I mean, that's perfect. That's really well. Yeah, I think that's good, you know. I reckon that is it. Now I've got to work out battery placement and stuff. Obviously I've got to kind of maximise all the space underneath that. Obviously that bottom one would most likely be able to come out or something. And then the steps themselves, I'm thinking that one there could curve round a little bit. Then if it was clad on the front there, just gives the kind of the steps to walk down then. Right, I've now got to work out how best to build all of this. Obviously I don't want many uprights, that's going to interfere with what I can store underneath it. But what I'm thinking is that's going to be either a fridge or some kind, well, it's going to be a fridge, possibly a calorifier. Not sure yet. Don't think I'm going to have enough room for all the pipe work to be down there, to be honest, for a calorifier. But that's most likely to be a fridge, let's say. But then you see where that line is there? My plan is that all of that will be cladded. So it'll look like one solid piece. Obviously there'll be a fridge inside that. And that lines up with a line there. So that would all be obscured, like that kind of weird void there would all be obscured. And then there'll be a rail going up from there, up to right there or whatever. So for when you're inside the boat, it'll look a bit like, well, no, it won't look like that at all, you know what I mean? Right, now to do a C.A.D drawing. I'm going to be using cardboard aided design. I'm going to cut all this up and see if I can make the kind of front frame of this, which is going to be that kind of swooping bit. Obviously it'll be made of timber. That bit there will have some kind of door in it to house the fridge, and the rest of it will be kind of nice cladding. Right, there's the first template. I think it's kind of right. Obviously this doesn't look particularly good, but I just wanted that to line up with that. And obviously that bit there has to kind of come down to that step where it is. Banister going up from there to there, or some kind of rail. Thinking that's kind of getting there. I'm now thinking that curve there should be inverted as opposed to concave. I don't know if those are the right words, but you know what I mean. It should go that way as opposed to where it currently goes. So I'm going to draw that out and see what that looks like. Yeah, the middle line there I think is the way to go. No, that's now wrong. It at least needs to cover that, so I'm thinking it should go straight up there and then curve at the top maybe. Yeah, I reckon that's it. Banister going up to there. That lip there will kind of be above that step. I think that's all right. Happy days. Yeah, this is all right, you know. I quite like this is it's more compact than it was. It did come up to about there before, so I've kind of saved a bit of space. I might be able to kind of move that back a little bit, but I've got to say it's well useful using cardboard for stuff like this, because it helps you really visualise stuff, and it's easy to kind of stick bits back on if you've overcut. But I reckon those are the right kind of lines. I said kind of railing or banister from there. This will have a lip to it, so kind of from standing here it looks quite right. Not sure about what's going to go in this cupboard here, because I did want this to be mirrored to give the illusion of space. I guess it still could be in some way, but I don't know, we'll see about that. But I reckon I got the steps right. I need to test it just with Marlon and Rob. Obviously Marlon's a bit and Rob's a bit, so I know I'm a bit, so I think getting them round will be quite useful, so I'll do that later on today. But for me and for the kids and all that, this will be absolutely perfect. I'm well happy with that. Sweet. Well, thanks very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.